We knew that Sonic 3 and Mufasa were going to face off at the box office over the Christmas holidays, but we weren't sure exactly what to expect. Some of the early indications were that Sonic 3, despite opening in fewer theaters and despite not having the massive marketing campaign behind it, was actually going to beat Mufasa here domestically, but people still thought it'd be a close race. And of course, people said, but don't worry. International is going to absolutely crush it, guys. Nearly $200 million projected opening for Mufasa, The Lion King, a movie that absolutely no one asked for. And if you read headlines at Collider, maybe you do think that it got off to a great start. Mufasa, The Lion King roars to life in global box office debut. Unfortunately, things are not going well for Disney or for Mufasa. Not only are they being kicked in the ass by Sonic 3 here in the United States and domestically, but internationally came in way less than they expected. Box office, Sonic 3 speeds to $62 million debut. Mufasa the Lion King gets trampled with $35 million. To put this in perspective, people expected about a $60 million debut for Sonic 3 and about a $50 million debut for Mufasa. $35 million, way below projections. And it's even more embarrassing when you compare it to the first one, because this is a follow-up, a prequel, but a follow-up to The Lion King 2019, the CGI disaster that somehow went on to make $1.6 billion. I thought it looked like shit. I had no interest in this from Disney, but that was the point in time where people still were going to everything that Disney put out in the theaters. When it comes to Mufasa, it opened at $35 million. The Lion King opened with $190 million just domestically and over $450 million worldwide. The worldwide numbers for Mufasa, $120 million. This is a nightmare for them. Now, Sonic 3 has not released internationally yet, so we don't have those type of numbers to compare to. I think, personally, that Mufasa 2 is going to have much better international numbers than Sonic will. I think Sonic's going to have a better domestic to international split, about half and half. That's what we've seen for most of the Sonic movies. But this is embarrassing. For Mufasa, who is in more theaters, who is in far more of the premium format theaters, yet here they come. They almost half, basically half of what Sonic is making per theater is what Mufasa made. A movie that cost over $200 million just to make. A movie that cost over $100 million just to market. The bare minimum break even for this is $600 million. And this is not a great start for them. Maybe they'll have a great hold over the holidays, but there's a lot of competition that is currently in theaters. And that's when you look at Sonic, 3,700 theaters, not as many as the previous Sonic opened to, and not as big of an opening weekend. But there's a lot more competition, obviously, at the box office. We'll have to see how both of these movies do long term and what the hold will be. Certainly great word of mouth for Sonic, not so great for something like Mufasa. But Disney is currently getting destroyed over this. And I want to show you this because this is just so fucking funny. Walt Disney Studios, the #1 movie in the world, is hilarious and will take you on an epic adventure. Get tickets for Mufasa the Lion King now, playing in theaters, blah, blah, blah. Now, this post, at least when I pulled it up an hour or two ago, had 1,800 comments to 1,400 likes. It's getting fucking ratioed to hell. Maybe in part because they're bragging about it being the #1 movie in the world. And technically it is because it opened internationally. But the domestic numbers this weekend, they got fucking annihilated by Sonic 3, which does not open internationally until next week. So the fact that they're bragging and passing off on that is hilarious. And when you go to the hidden replies, it's especially interesting. Anything associated to Sonic or Shadow or whatever, they're fucking hiding immediately. The Walt Disney Company is hiding replies related to Sonic as they're getting destroyed by Sonic at the domestic box office. How can we watch Mufasa when Sonic 3 exists? I don't care. You got a little Eggman right there. Shut the fuck up, Mickey, with a Sonic gif. Bow your heads low. All hail Shadow. These are ratioing them basically. 1.4 thousand likes to their initial 1.4 thousand likes. They're getting ratioed by Sonic right now. Fuck off with Sonic. Another Shadow gif. Anything associated to Sonic, they're blocking. This is how fucking sensitive they are about this. But really, I mean, I think they probably thought this is going to be an easy win. Hey, we don't need to make $1.6 billion. We can make half of that and still have a profitable movie. Well, you open to about 20% of that or less here domestically. Internationally, it opened to about half of what the other one opened. Actually, less than half. Around what, $90 million internationally for this one, and it opened to over $250 million internationally opening weekend. That is not good when you're comparing it to the first one. Now, maybe it'll have great legs, but there's a lot of other things that people might want to go watch right now. And just as we expected, Sonic the Hedgehog comes out on top, we didn't expect it to be this massive of a pummeling in its opening weekend for Sonic 3 over Mufasa.